How do we find the volume of a prism? Good. Area of the base times the height of the object. So times the height. So what kind of base do we have in number 1? It is a right triangle. It's a triangle. So we are going to find the volume. So go ahead and highlight, I would at least. Go ahead and highlight the bases. You don't have to on your quiz, but it did help a lot of my other students. How do we find the area of a triangle? 1/2 base times height. So whenever you're finding the area of a shape, you should only be looking at the base. So what are the only two numbers that are involved with finding the area of this triangle?
12 and 8.
12 and 8, so, or 8 and 12, however you want to say it. Half of 12 is 6, and times 8 is 48. So the area of the base is 48. What is the height of the entire prism?
6.
It is 6. 48 times 6 is 288, and I think it is feet cubed. All right, in number 2, what's the base? It is not a, I'm asking for the shape. It's a trapezoid. It's, nope, just a trapezoid there, Eric. It's a trapezoid. So remember that the bases have to be opposite and parallel and congruent. So if you thought a rectangle, the bottom and the top aren't the same size, so they can't be the base. So we're going to find the area of this base. What formula helps me find the area of a... Perfect. So 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So we're going to only be looking at the trapezoid. So we should be looking at the numbers 1.6, 2.4, and 3.2. Which one of those are going to be our two bases?
1.6 and 3.2.
Perfect. 1.6 and 3.2. So we're going to have 1/2 times 1.6, 3.2. And then what is the height of the trapezoid alone?
2.4.
It is 2.4. All right, so we add. What is 1.6 plus 3.2?
4.8.
4.8. All right, what is half of 4.8? 2.4. So we're going to have 2.4 times 2.4,
5.76.
which is 5.76. So that is the area of the base, 5.76, times the height of the whole object. The height here is not going to be up and down. It's going to be what pushes apart your two bases. So which of the numbers pushes apart the two trapezoids? 3. So 5.76 times 3 is 17.28, and it would be meters cubed. All right, we're going to look at number 7. Number 7. So in this one, are we looking for the volume? No. We're already given the volume. We're still going to use the volume formula. So volume equals the area of the base times the height. But in this problem, we're going to do something slightly different. We're on this one. Do we have enough information to find the area of the base? It's a circle. No, we don't. So when you don't have enough information, instead of saying area of the base, you're going to plug in the formula for the area of the base. So volume equals, how would we find the area of a circular base?
R squared.
Pi r squared. And then what could we use to represent the height of the cylinder?
9.
Well, I'm going to use h for now. We'll use 9 in a minute. Oops. All right, so what am I going to plug in for volume?
254.1.
Yep, 254.5. And it equals pi times the radius squared, which we still know the radius. And then what did we say the height was going to be? 9. We want to get the radius squared alone, so what do we need to do next? Not yet. We're going to multiply. What are we going to multiply together? Pi and 9. So what is pi times 9? 28.26. And then we still have r squared. So now what do I do to solve for r squared?
Squared.
Not yet. What do we do? Divide. So squaring should be the very, very last thing you do. All right, so what is r squared equal? 9. Final step, take the square root. So what is the radius equal? 3 and meters. Perfect. Go ahead and flip to 11.6. It's on the back. In 11.6, we learned about pyramids. So it had basically the same formula, but what was the main difference between the formulas?
1/3.
The 1/3. Where did the 1/3 go? Yeah, in front of the area of the base. So volume equals 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. So what is the shape of my base here? A triangle. So I'm going to use the area formula for a triangle. 1/2 base times the height. So what's my base and height going to be for this little triangle? 9 and 16. It doesn't matter what order you multiply in. What's 1/2 of 16? 8. And then times 9 is 72. So the area of the base is 72. What is the height of the whole pyramid? 10. And then times 10. From here, you could do a couple different things. You could do 1/3 of 72. What is 72 divided by 3? 24. And then you could multiply it by that 10, which means our answer is 240, and it would be meters, I believe. Yeah, cubed. Meters cubed. All right, and the last one we do together is number 5. Find the indicated measure. A pyramid with a rectangular base has a volume of 60 cubic feet and a height of 6 feet. The width of the rectangular base is 4 feet. Find the length of the rectangular base. So in this problem, are we looking for the volume?
No.
No. We're looking for the length of our rectangular base. We're still going to use the volume formula. So volume is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. But what am I going to plug in instead of area of the base? Length times width, because the area formula for a rectangle is length and width. So volume equals 1/3 times length times width, and then still times the height. We'll plug in the information we know. Do we know the volume?
Yeah.
Yes, what is it? 60. So 60 equals 1/3. All right, what is the length?
We don't know.
We don't know. So we're going to write L. What's the width? 4. So the width is 4. And then the height of the entire pyramid is 6. So a height of 6. So I'm going to do this kind of shortcut way. What's 4 times 6? 24. Now do 1/3 of 24, which is 8. So the right side becomes 8, L. The left side's still 60. What do I do to finish solving for the length?
Divide by 8.
Divide by 8. What do we get for our final length? 7.5, and it would be feet. Good. So that's the end of us reviewing together. I would, if you haven't already looked over it, look over the similar solids like number 7 and 8. Make sure you remember that formula. It's the 2 fractions. We'll probably start in about 2 minutes. You want to look over some stuff.